This lesson is part of our 5th grade Earth Science Unit, Earth and Space Systems. Our learning target for this lesson is to define and describe the watershed ecosystem. We will be able to discuss the threats watershed ecosystems face and describe actions people can take to protect and promote watershed health. What is a watershed ecosystem? A watershed is an area of land that drains or sheds water into a specific water body. Every body of water has a watershed. Watersheds drain rainfall and snowmelt into streams and rivers. These smaller bodies of water flow into larger ones, including lakes, bays, and oceans. Gravity helps guide the path that water takes across the landscape. Not all rain or snow that falls on a watershed flows out in this way. Some seeps into the ground. It goes into underground reservoirs called aquifers. Other precipitation ends up on hard surfaces such as roads and parking lots, from which it may enter storm drains that feed into streams. Watersheds can vary in size. A watershed for a tiny mountain creek might be as small as a few square meters. Some watersheds are enormous and usually encompass many smaller ones. The Muskegon River watershed is quite large and part of the even larger Great Lakes watershed. On the map here, you can see the Muskegon River watershed. The map color codes every watershed in our region. No matter where you are located, you are in a watershed. On this map, all the different watersheds for Lake Michigan are colored in a shade of orange or red. All the water, clean and polluted, which flows into all those orange and red watersheds, eventually flows into Lake Michigan. Watershed management is a term that describes the use of land, forest, and water resources in ways that do not harm the plants and animals living there. Watershed management may include goals and ways of reducing the amount of pesticides and fertilizer that wash off farm fields and into nearby water bodies. Watershed management is closely linked to conservation. In this picture, you can see the Grand Trunk boat launch site, which is located along the southern shore of Muskegon Lake. The Grand Trunk site is a peninsula that has been constructed almost entirely of foundry fill. Miscellaneous trash, debris, and slab wood has been dumped on the shore and in the lake surrounding the site. However, numerous restoration activities have taken place over the years. There are things that we can do to protect watersheds. We can conserve water by taking shorter showers, fixing leaks, and turning off water when not in use. Also, it's important to never pour toxic chemicals down the drain. Take them to a hazardous waste site. Plant plants that do not require lots of water or fertilizer to grow. We can recycle yard waste into a compost pile and use a mulching mower. Also, remember to pick up after your dog and dispose of the waste in the trash. Also, never pour oil or antifreeze down a storm drain or into the street. This photo is of the Grand Trunk site in Muskegon, Michigan, after restoration. Let's review our learning target. An area of land that drains or sheds into a specific water body is called A. Conserve, B. Harm, C. Watershed, D. Watershed management, or E. Gravity. The correct answer is watershed. Number 2. Blank helps guide the path that water in a watershed takes along the landscape. The correct answer is E. Gravity. Number 3. The use of land, forest, and water resources in a way that do not harm the plants and animals living there is called D. Watershed management. Number 4. You can help protect watersheds by finding ways to blank water. The correct answer is A. Conserve. And number 5. Fertilizers, chemicals, and waste need to be properly used and disposed of so they do not blank the watersheds. The correct answer is harm, B. You may now click Next to take the quiz for this lesson.